In this video, we will replace the viral LEGO animations from the internet again. It will be a challenge, but we will do it. Let's get started! Last video we dedicated to animations related to LEGO food. If you haven't seen it, I advise you to check it out. There we recreated some of the most viral and strange LEGO animations on the internet. This time we decided to focus on stop-motion animations directly related to LEGO, specifically ways to destroy LEGO minifigures. Let's start with the Lego Man stretching animation. It's a pretty addictive and cool animation. The first thing we have to do is take the minifigure and start making hand movements, simulating that we want to stretch it. Under each movement, we take a picture with the camera. At some point we need to slightly detach the legs from the torso to form a gap. After that, behind the frame, we disconnect the minifigure completely and add one gray Lego brick between the halves. Then we return the figure to the previous position and take a photo. In this way we should keep adding pieces and taking photos until the figure becomes long enough. The next stage of animation will be the collapse of the stretched minifigure. We make frames as we release the head and, holding the figure in one hand, begin to reduce the pieces between. When the head is close to the center, the minifigure will need to be glued to the support. Then we release the figure and with the other hand start removing the bricks from the other side. In the end, the figure should return to its natural state and hover in the center. All that is left is to animate the figure's rotation and fall. The figure is not going to just give up and will get up, but there's a closing blow waiting for it. To animate the squeezing of the figure, you just need to take a few shots of the hand coming down on the figure. Then the figure is removed and replaced with tiles of the same color. Then you just raise the hand and it's done. This is what we ended up with. It looks very funny. Let's move on. The second animation will be the destruction of the minifigure with the help of magic. For this we will need two figures. The magician will be Genie, who appeared from the lamp. For the animation of magic, we will need a lot of different transparent pieces. First, we need to attach some transparent tiles to Genie's hand to simulate the appearance of magic. It's time to start animating the actual effect of Genie's magic on the opponent. To do this, you need to first attach a small tile to the minifigure's head. Take one frame and replace it with this round piece. Then the figure starts to be covered with even more pieces. At some point, you need to remove all the pieces and put one big one in front of the figure. After that, you need to replace the figure with a skeleton and move the piece itself a bit forward. Now you need to remove the disappearing magic. This is done by replacing the front pieces with smaller ones. The last step will be the animation of the skeleton scattering and the disappearance of Genie. This is the final result we got. Pretty good, huh? What will happen next? The third animation will be related to one of the most famous game characters in the world. His signature jump from above will be embodied in the form of LEGO stop-motion animation. For this we will need two figures, one of which we will give the appearance of an Italian plumber. We'll make the animation of the run-up and the actual jump of Mario on top of the figure with the help of supports. These supports in the final frames will be removed with the help of Photoshop tools. After Mario is on top of the figure, you need to start the animation of squeezing the figure. To do this, you need to gradually replace the body parts of the minifigure with the help of plates and tiles. In the end, there should be nothing left of the figure. After processing, we get the following result. It looks great. The next way to destroy the minifigure will be a powerful pie throw to the face. Here comes a complication in the form of camera movement during the animation. It will be difficult, but we will do it. First, we need to shoot the animation of swinging and throwing the pie from the opponent's hands. Then the pie is attached to the support and moves straight towards the other figure. With each shot, you need to turn the camera in the direction of the flying pie. When the pie reaches the minifigure, it is attached to the face and detached from the support. A shot is taken, after which the saucer of the pie is removed and replaced with tiles of the same color. In this way, we imitate smearing the pie on the face. The figure itself should be detached from the plate and attached to the support to simulate a strong blow. Then we animate flights and falls, not forgetting to move the camera. At the output, we get the following animation. Time to move on to the next animation. This time the figure is eliminated because of a failed step on a mine. For the animation of the blast wave and smoke, we need synthetic stuffing, which you can get from old stuffed toys. To begin with, there is frame-by-frame shooting of walking until the figure steps on a transparent plate. At this point, you need to take a picture, then remove the figure and replace the transparent piece with the same one, only red, and bring the figure back. It is necessary to do this a few times to imitate the activation of the mind. Then, slowly begin to add pieces of synthetic stuffing until we completely lose sight of the figure. At that point, it should be removed from the stage. Now you need to move the synthetic stuffing a little in different directions and put a couple of parts underneath that correspond to the color of the clothes of the selected figure. Then gradually begin to remove the synthetic stuffing from the stage. The result of these actions will be the following animation. In this scene, the figure is unlucky enough to fall down a mountain. To repeat a similar case, we will need to build a mountain landscape from Lego. A minifigure is placed on top. To begin with, we need to shoot the running of the figure on top of the mountain. After it reaches the edge, you need to start the animation of the fall. For this, we attach the figure to the outer part of the mountain. Gradually, as the figure falls, the body parts begin to detach. Here you also need to remember to move the camera down in each subsequent frame, so that the figure is always in the field of view of the camera. The final frames will be a broken figure lying on the ground. After painstaking work, we get this result. A very funny and dynamic scene we got. It's time for the super punch animation. Here a figure slides right into the wall from the strongest blow of another figure. To replicate this scene we need two figures. To begin with, the swing for the punch is filmed frame by frame. Then the punch itself takes place, during which the figure detaches from the plate and moves to the support. Here you should also move the camera along with the shot. After that the figure flies towards the wall, hits and falls on the table. Having done all these manipulations, we get this animation. How do you like this creation? Write in the comments! And this is one of the most difficult animations. Here the figure is destroyed by a whole arsenal of guns. To animate each frame with shooting will be a challenge. To begin with, the first angle is shot where the figure is surprised to find an armed enemy in front of him. Then the angles are changed and the gun begins to gradually tilt in the direction of the figure. The shooting of the line of gunshots begins. For this we will need a lot of different transparent parts. For convenience, on the muzzles of the plastic guns, we can put Technic parts. For the animation of firing, at each subsequent frame, we need to change the parts attached to the guns. At the same time, we start animating the figure gradually bending and adding various details to simulate the impact of flying projectiles. Eventually the figure will fall, the volleys will stop, and we will be able to reproduce this scene. Here the figure dies at the hands of traitors from the game Among Us. First of all, let's assemble a figure of character from the famous game. This is the figure we got. Next, we should put him in the frame with another figure. We shoot the animation of the blow, and at the moment when the opponent's hand is approaching the figure, we detach the torso from it. We insert the bone between the mounts, and for smooth animation, the rest of the body should be covered with small parts. Decorative elements are removed, and the last action will be the fall of the body on the ground. The result of all this will be this animation. It's time for the last animation, and it's going to be a very cool scene with a laser beam cutting a figure into two pieces. The previously shown animation used a Vision figure, but we will take another Marvel character, namely Iron Man. The first animation is the accumulation of the charge before the volley. To do this, the figure is pulled back. A transparent part is attached to its chest, which will need a couple of frames to move. Then it is replaced by a cone part. One frame is made, and then a transparent rod is inserted inside the part. Afterwards, these parts are also replaced with one large antenna that mimics the laser beam. The beam gradually starts to descend downward, and we have to move the camera in a circle and take frames. That was the first angle. In this second angle we have to put the camera behind the figure and put the laser beam on top. When the antenna part touches the head, the figure should be removed and replaced by a moulage of two halves, which we made as follows. The beam is lowered between the halves, which diverge in different directions. We end up with an animation like this. It looks really good, but that's it for me for now. If you liked the video, then put a like and subscribe to the channel to not miss new interesting videos. Thanks for watching, bye!